Welcome, Minneapolis junior, senior high school fans, back for another basketball season, another season of winter sports here in the 2019-2020 school year. Dale Leach, Scott Oshman here to bring you the girls and boys tonight against the Russell Broncos out here at Russell on December 6, 2019.
Opening night basketball here from Minneapolis Lady Lions as well as the Lion Boys. So exciting time to get back in the groove of basketball, Dale.
Yes, it is, and nobody's better than anybody else today unless they're ranked in the top 10, which neither one of these squads are. As far as I know.
We all start with the same record at this point.
Right.
So. And this is a first for us. Usually for the last probably 6-7 years, our first games have been the Tri-County tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a little bit different for us, where our opening game, first game, is against a league opponent here in Russell, Kansas.
And we will have the Tri-County Classic next week, but as Scott said, it's unusual to have this league opponent right off the bat, and that's happened sometimes, but it's more often than not.
It's been a few years. It's been a few years since this was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last year, the Lady Lions had a 9-11 overall record, and it ended up 5th in the NCAA with a 4-win, 8-loss record. The Lady Broncos of Russell had an 18-win, 5-loss record, and they were first in the NCAA with an 11-win, 1-loss season. And their big gun, Tiffany Dortland, is gone, though she has a little sister that's a sophomore playing for them. This is the 68th game in the series overall, dating back to 1979. Minneapolis leads the series 39-28. But just like in Scripture, I'm going to put a however in there. That's not what the Scripture does, but they same kind of emphasis. However, Russell has won the last 10 games in a row.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be close to that.
And 18 of the last 21.
Yeah.
So Minneapolis leads the series, but the last 21 games have been pretty rough on the Lady Lions when it comes to Russell.
I'll tell you, the Bronco Russell basketball program has been very solid for the last, for sure for the last 6-7 years, but as you can just attest to that, it goes even further than that. I'm not sure how long.
The last time we had a streak over them ended in 2011.
Yeah. And how long has Coach Schulte been out here?
Oh, gosh. Probably since then or earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The last time Minneapolis beat the Lady Broncos was in overtime back on January 29th, 2016 at home. There was 3 of 4 games back in 15 and 16 that we actually won 3 of those, but there's a streak before it and a streak afterwards. It's been pretty winless. Gone from Minneapolis is Charisma Veneri, senior. She leads the Lions in 3 points for a career, 134 of them, and 3-pointers for a season, 50. Our leader in returning in that is Kirsty Nelson. She has 52 3-pointers overall and is 5th in season scoring with 30. Our most 3 points hit in a game, there's 5 ladies that have tied for that. Charisma Veneri, Kirsty Nelson, Lindsay Shute, Kate Steinbrock, and Shay Shoemaker. So those are some 5 great names in MHS basketball, and one of them still playing here this evening. At Russell, we have a 14-win, 14-loss, even-up record here on the Russell home court. So see if we can get things turned around tonight for the Lady Lions in that regard.
Lady Broncos will be in their home white. Minneapolis Lady Lions sporting their blue. I believe this might be blue jerseys, blue shorts. So,
Getting ready to have introductions. Again, you're listening to Dale Leach and Scott Oshman here on CityLinkTV.com, Minneapolis channel, and video replay to Eagle Community Channel 20.
Lady Lions. It'll be exciting. It's like you said, they lost some firepower from last year with Charisma Veneri, but it'll be interesting to see how they come out. Kirsty Nelson is a very streaky ball player, Dale. She's a great athlete, and it'll be interesting to see how much weight is going to be placed on her shoulders. Yep. Zoe Shoup's a great ball handler, and you mentioned the Cleveland girl, which she might bring to the floor, so it'll be interesting to see. So
I'd like to see if Zoe could start to contribute more scoring-wise.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for the introductions here in a second. I'm not sure if we're going to have the national anthem or not. People are standing, but it might be just for the introduction.
Not ready, so I'm assuming it's going to be before the boys.
So here we go for the starting lineups.
For the Lady Lions.
For Minneapolis.
Kirsty Nelson, 5'6" senior.
Kirsty Nelson, number 4 for the Lady Lions.
For the Lady Broncos, a 5'8" senior,
number 2, Megan Peeler for the Lady Broncos.
For the Lions, number 10, Zoe Shoop.
And for Minneapolis Lions, another senior, Zoe Shoop.
For the Lady Broncos, a 5'4" sophomore, Camille Dortmund.
And for the Lady Broncos, number 4, Camille Dortmund, a sophomore.
Number 11, Cameron Cleveland, a 5'5".
Oh, and for Minneapolis, you talked about it. Cameron Cleveland getting the start. She's a sophomore, you said?
Yes, sir.
And for the Lady Broncos, number 12, she's a senior, Janae Schulte.
The baby of the Schulte family, I think.
And for Minneapolis, Peyton Smith, a junior. And for the Broncos, number 20, she's a sophomore, Rylan Reeves. And for Minneapolis, 21, Courtney Forte. And I forgot about Courtney. Courtney adds a lot to the inside as well. And for the Lady Broncos, number 32, she's got some height. Anelia Sterling, a 6-foot sophomore. So they are they're a little young there as well, Dale. I'll give you that in just a second, but the last 2 of those sophomores for them.
I was hoping that we'd have got another inch or 2 put on in height on the frame of Courtney Forte, but I don't think that happened. But she is a very effective player on the low post. She knows how to use her frame underneath.
I don't want to scare you here, Dale, but they start 3 sophomores and 2 seniors. They might come back for a few years here. So, Minneapolis is starting 2 seniors, a sophomore and actually 2 sophomores, and or is she a junior? No, I'm sorry. A junior. 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and a sophomore. So,
and this is the last year for the Broncos in the NCAA league.
I did not know that. I had not heard that. Minneapolis with the basketball. They'll go cross court to Nelson. Nelson back to top to Shoop. Shoop on the top, swings over the pass to number 14, Peyton Smith. Peyton back to the top of the key to Cleveland. Cleveland will look to Shoop, pulls it back down, gets it to Shoop. Shoop drives the lane, and she rolls back out, gets it to Cleveland. Cleveland for 3. Up, and it's off the mark, but rebounded by the Lady Broncos. Broncos with the ball coming down the right-hand side is number 20, Rylan Reeves. Reeves back to the top of the key. They swing pass over the court into Peeler back to Schulte. Schulte will roll to the right-hand side. Minneapolis in a man defense. They go across, and it's stolen away. Nice hustle there, and it's kept alive by the Lady Broncos. Minneapolis with a near steal. They go cross court, stolen away by the Minneapolis Lions into the hands. Nice job by the Lady Lions down low. And then we turn around and give it right back to the direction.
Tried to get the fast break going. We weren't under control enough.
So where's the Russell Broncos going for league?
They are going to the MCL. Mid-Continent.
And are we picking up a team, or are we
Not yet.
Ball goes cross court, stepped alive by Schulte. Schulte guarded by Nelson. She's trapped right now, and she'll go down low in the paint. Back to the top, it goes to Dortland with the basketball. Dortland swing pass over the hands of Megan Peeler. Peeler takes a shot, off the mark, rebounded by Cleveland. Cleveland on the right-hand side, she'll drive it down, pulls it back out, gets it back to Shoop. Shoop will set this up. Shoop on the left-hand side in the hands of Nelson. Nelson back to Cleveland. Cleveland swing pass over to, tries to force it down low, and it's going to be off the hands of White. It'll stay with Minneapolis as they tried to get it down low into the hands of Forte. Nelson will pull the trigger to set it up for the Lady Lions.
Checking in for the Lady Broncos, number 1, Grace Lumpkin.
Yes, that was a decision the school board came to last spring to move.
It's interesting. What, Mid-Continent? You said Mid-Continent?
Mm-hmm.
And where's that? Who is that?
Phillipsburg, Smith Center, Norton, Thomas More Prep, Ellis.
Shot is off the mark and rebounded by the Broncos. It'll come back the other direction.
Stockton, to name a few.
Oh, great pass down low, up, no good. And the rebound by the Broncos kept alive. Another rebound in the paint. And then Nelson ties it up. Nice job by the squads there. Dale, I'm not keeping track of any rebounds.
I'm trying.
You trying to? Okay. I'll let you handle that. Checking in for the Minneapolis Lady Lions is number 23, Maddie Lang. A little good move in the paint, up and off the mark, and rebounded by Forte. Forte back out to Shoop. Shoop will bring it down on the left-hand side. Pulls it back out. She'll set it back up the top of the key to Lang. Lang over to Nelson. Nelson will drive the lane. Kicks it back out. Oh, stolen away. Another turnover back in the hands of the Lady Broncos. Broncos, and they turn it right back over, so we just turn the ball back and forth.
Both sides had the early season jitters here.
Checking back in for Minneapolis is Peyton Smith.
I'm assuming that Russell was a little tired of the long jaunt to Belleville.
Yeah, I would guess that's probably the case. Lang with the ball, back to Nelson Smith. Smith with the basketball, back to Forte. Forte, and she's going to turn it over. And the Lady Broncos will bring it down to set it up.
But then I see that they're in the Sterling Invitational Tournament this winter, so there's going to be a long trip for them.
Back to the top, it goes into the hands of number 1, and that's Lampkins in for the first time for the Broncos. Back in the corner goes to Peeler. Peeler stolen away by Nelson. She's on the left-hand side. We might have her first points of the night. Left-handed layup, up and good. Nice job by Kirsty Nelson with the steal and the layup. Ball goes back the other direction. Back to the top of the key, goes to Schulte. Oh, great job by Smith. She's on the left-hand side. She's going to come down. She's got a top. Goes to Nell. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded by the Broncos. But great job. Another turnover back to the Lions. And then back it goes to the Broncos. And then the top of the key, it goes to Schulte. Schulte kicks it back over down low. And that's going to be a little turnover. Great job by...
into the passing line by Forte there.
They're doing a nice job on the defending of that inlet pass, Dale. Checking back in is number 11, Cleveland. Cleveland is a sophomore, correct?
Yes.
Yes, she is. Okay. She'll bring it down to set it up. Rolls in the lane, comes up, and off the mark. And, she steals it back. Nice job in the paint, and she's going to get fouled. Nice job by Cleveland, and she'll get fouled by number 2, Peeler, I believe.
The Broncos picked up their 6th turnover and 6th rebound there.
At the line is Cleveland, and she makes the first one. 3-0, Minneapolis Lady Lions here at 3:57 in the first quarter. Second attempt is up, and it is off the mark.
Foul on Lang, I think, pushing off on the rebound attempt. And
that will give the ball back to the Lady Broncos.
But the Lady Lions are up 3-0 here, 3:57 to go in the first quarter.
Ball comes into the hands of Dortland. Dortland with the basketball gets it back over to another player. That is Wagner in for the Broncos. They look down low. Good pass up, and it's off the mark and good for number 20, Reeves. Their first points of the night for the Broncos. 3-2, Lady Lions with a 1-point lead. Nelson down low, and she's going to get fouled. Ooh, that's a close one right there. She knows it, and she gets away with one right there as they're going to get the big girl a foul as the 6-footer Sterling gets up her first personal foul, and Nelson will go to the line to shoot two. Shot is up, and it's good for the first one. That's what you like to see, get the big one in trouble early. Checking in for the Minneapolis Lady Lions is number 13, Coda Cabana. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And second free throw coming for, she's another sophomore for the Lady Lions. Second shot is up and good by Nelson. She leads all scores with 4 points. Oh, and they turn it over on the inbounds, Dale. Boy, that's one of those.
Is that driving Coach Schulte nuts?
Yeah, that's one of those unforeseen errors that just don't happen in high school basketball very often on the inbounds play. They get the pass down to Cleveland off the glass and good. Nice job by the Lady Lions. Great movement on the inbound pass. The assist and the pass, and bucket is good. 7-2, Lady Lions the early lead here in the first quarter, 3:32. Over in the corner it goes to Reeves. Reeves down low. Off the mark, great pass down low, and good by Stearland as she gets her first points of the night. Russell Broncos did a nice job of ball movement on that one right there, Dale. 7-4 Lady Lions. 3:04 in the first quarter. Top of the key goes to Cleveland. Cleveland looks to Smith, gets it back to Smith as she will set it up. Gets it back to Cleveland. Cleveland pulls it back out, gets it over to Nelson. Nelson drives back out to shoot. Shoot with the basketball at the top of the key. Screen and in the lane, up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Stearland. Back the other direction it goes. Dortland with the basketball on the right-hand side. Picked up by Smith. Dortland will set it up for the Broncos. Back it goes on the right-hand side. Gets it into to Peeler, and they're going to get a foul, I believe, on Cleveland. Her first.
Team second. Each squad with 2 fouls. 2:27 remaining here in the first quarter.
Schulte checks back in. 7-4 Lady Lions with the lead here in the first quarter. Schulte to pull the trigger. Underneath her own basket, gets it into Dortland. Dortland will look down low to Stearland, has nothing. And she'll drive to the basket, kicks it back out to Schulte. Schulte once again looks to paint, gets a high screen. Oh, she's left wide open for 3. And great hustle by Cleveland. And they're going to call a kick on Russell. Great job by Cleveland, Dale, to get her hands in there and just get a nice little steal right there. So, shoot with the basketball. She'll drive with the left hand, and she kicks it back out to Smith. Smith had a look at a 3, pulled it down. Shoop dribbles to the left, back to the right, and goes in the paint. Nice job by Shoop as she threads the needle with the left hand, Dale. Great pass down low by the Broncos, and they finish well at the basket on the fast break drive. 9-6, 1:38 here. Minneapolis gets a great drive, but then they come right back and answer it. Ball goes back to Shoop. Shoop at the top of the key. High screen set. Gets it back over to Cleveland. Oh, and we turn the ball over. So 9-6. Minneapolis will sub another player in Lang as she comes in for the Lady Lions.
1:22 to go here in the first. Possession error is to Minneapolis, so if we get her to tie up, we'll come back our way.
Dortland with the basketball. I know you're watching. She was turning that ball over, Dale. No call. Dorland with the basketball at the top. Nelson with the steal. Kirsty, and there's a nice, that's going to be a steal, a foul on Rees, but a nice steal by Nelson.
Oh, we got a steal?
Yep, Kirsty Nelson down low.
8 turnover on the Broncos in this quarter.
I've got 9, so I must be off.
Okay,
over.
well, no, you're probably okay.
A great drive in the lane, and she's going to get fouled. Great job by Kirsty Nelson as Zoe Shoup as she takes the ball on the screen from Forte.
I just changed my turnover total to 9 because I can't keep up sometimes.
I didn't see who the foul was on, darn it, and they didn't put it up on the board.
Oh.
And the free throw is good by Shoup.
Well, you just have to catch up next time she fouls.
Yeah.
See that you're off.
I think it was, they just put it up there. Dortmund.
Okay.
Second free throw coming for Shoup. 58.2 seconds in the first quarter. Free throw is up and it's good. And Minneapolis has the 11-6 lead. Ball goes in the hands of Schulte. Schulte back to Dortland. Dortland will take a 3 and it's off the mark. And stolen away. Oh, great hands right there. It's going to be tied up, and it's going to go to Lady Lions. Another turnover on the tie-up. 43 seconds left here in the first quarter. Shoup back to Lang, back to Cleveland. Cleveland guarded tightly there and gets it in. Oh, great hustle. Nice job by
what a feed.
Forte. Great pass.
Cleveland to get it through the defenders.
And great finish. And a bucket in the paint by Stearland. And she gets a nice bucket there. 11 seconds left. 13-8. Cleveland with the basketball. Gets it back to Lang, back in the corner, all 3, yes indeed, yes it's good! Nice job by Kirsty Nelson with the big 3 right before the end of the first quarter as they take the lead. They extend the lead 16-8 here in the first quarter. What a great pass, what a great first quarter, Dale.
It really is, and my memory back just didn't go back far enough to know if this big a lead on the Lady Broncos. So this is fantastic. We're going to take a break and hear a word from our sponsors of these live video broadcasts.
It's being brought to you by C&R Plating in Minneapolis. Kevin Klein and the rest of the crew at C&R Plating, proud to support the youth of Minneapolis and all they do.
With locations in Minneapolis and Bennington, Central Valley Ag provides 24-hour pump services. Pat and Lynette Donovan at Ag by Air have been supporting ag operations in the Minneapolis and Delphos area for over 20 years with prompt, up-to-date, and competitive aerial application service. Ag by Air is located at 974 Highway K106, south of Minneapolis, or can be reached at 785-392-3300 for questions on scouting your fields, chemical recommendations, or to book your work. Ag by Air, proud sponsor of the Minneapolis High School Lions.
Well, Kirsty Nelson finished out the quarter there with a beautiful three-pointer from the corner. Except the Lions double the score on the Broncos.
Ball goes over to Schulte. Schulte at the top. She leave her alone. Watch that. And a steal right there by Cleveland. Back the other direction. And she's going to get it in. Can't get it. And back the other direction. So, missed opportunity right there. And they get a sleeper down low. And they get the bucket. So, cherry picking down low. They have somebody waiting. 16-10. Shoot. Hounded by Dortland, gets it back to Nelson, and we're going to turn it over.
Second game for the Lady Broncos, number 1, Grace Lumpkins.
And number 1, Lumpkins checks in for the Broncos. Dortland gets it back to Lumpkins. Back to Dortland. Dortland. Back to the top of the key. It goes to Peeler. Peeler back to Lumpkins. Lumpkins will take the three. It's off the mark. And that's going to be off of Broncos Minneapolis basketball.
15 for the Lady Broncos. The last touch at Riley Wagner, 5'5" senior.
Shoop with the basketball, sets it up 16-10. Gets it over to Nelson. Nelson back in the corner to Cleveland. Cleveland gets it over to Shoop in the paint. Gets it back to Smith. Smith back to Nelson. Nelson will drive in. Kicks it back out to Cleveland. She'll take the three and banks it in. She used the glass on that, Dale. And she gets the three off the glass. Interesting shot in the corner off the glass, though. So not quite in the corner, but nice one. Ball goes to Stearman, up rebounded by Nelson. Nelson with a nice rebound right there. She'll back the other direction. Double team. Gets it back to Smith. Smith with the basketball. Cross court. Down low. Pass up. No good. With the shot. Rebounded by the Broncos. Back the other direction goes Lumpkins with the basketball. And nice hustle there by Cleveland.
Well, Russell has out-rebounded us at least 9-5 if I've been able to keep up. But they have 10 turnovers compared to our 5.
Yep.
Big factor in this game so far.
Ball goes in the hands of Wagner. Wagner back to Stearland. Stearland back to Lumpkins. Lumpkins will take the three. It's off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Lang. Lang's going to tie it up.
There was nobody to help
right in there. Luckily, he'll stay with the Lady Lions. The alternating possession here. Schulte checks back in for the Broncos, and the Broncos are going to pick up a press. Oh, now they back away. I think we might see some press by the boys tonight, Dale.
I'm sure of it.
Ball goes into the hands of Shoop with the left-hand drive. Gets it back to Nelson, down low. Pass out to Smith. Smith will drive in. Up, and it's no good. And rebounded by Lang and Schulte, and it ties it back up. It will go to the Broncos. Ball goes to Dortland. Dortland gets it back to Schulte. Schulte on the right-hand side. Schulte looks, drives around, kicks it back out to Wagner. Wagner looks down low in the paint. Gets it back out to Schulte. Schulte looks around. Wagner with the shot off the mark. Rebounded by Minneapolis in the hands of Forte. Forte back to Shoop. Shoop to Nelson. Nelson back to Shoop. Shoop will take the shot up, and it's good. Nice job by Zoe Shoop. You asked for it. She's got 6 points tonight, Dale. Nice job by Shoop. Dortland with the basketball. Drives, kicks it back out into the hands of Wagner. Wagner swing pass over the left-hand side. Back to the top. It goes to Dortland. Dortland will swing to the left. Bring back to the right. Wagner back to Dortland from the free throw line. Up, and it's good. Dortland with her first points of the night. Nice little shot from the free throw line. 21-12, Minneapolis. Ball goes back to Smith, back to Lang. Lang in the corner to Nelson. Nelson drives it back out, kicks it back to Smith. Smith over in the corner to Shoop. Shoop will look to set this up as she goes cross court to Lang. Lang back out to Nelson. Nelson will take the three. It's up and it's good. Another three by Kirsty Nelson as she gets her 11th point of the night, or 10th point of the night. And it goes right back down. Another situation, Dale, where after a really good shot, we give up the fast break.
And did we foul?
Yeah, we fouled. And I don't know who is that at the line.
Her ponytail covers up her number. I don't know.
2. Peeler. And we are going to call timeout. So 23, Lang picks up her second personal.
Cabana's going to come in for Forte, I think.
Either that or Maddie Lang, because Maddie picked up her second personal.
Okay. All right, let's hear another word from our sponsor.
The Messenger Clothing Company with locations in Minneapolis and Salina can design custom clothing for your team, business, group, or event. with screen printing and embroidery. We feature online design and ordering for your convenience. Contact us at 785-823-7752 or by email at sales@messengerclothingcompany.com for all your custom clothing printing needs today. Go Minneapolis Lions! The Bennington State Bank wants to be your hometown bank. With locations in Minneapolis, Bennington, and Salina, they strive to provide hometown relationship banking. We provide both consumer and commercial banking service along with trust and wealth management. Contact us today for all your financial service needs. Go Lions! We're with you all the way.
Welcome back to Russell, Kansas. Lady Lions on top 24-14 here in the first half, as Minneapolis has come out really strong here to start the in this ballgame. 3:48 here left in the second quarter. At the line to shoot the and one will be Peeler. This will be their first free throw attempt of the night for the Broncos. And it's up and it's good. Shoot with the ball to bring it down the right-hand side. She'll bring it, set it up top the key, gets it back to Smith. Smith on the right, back to Shoop to Nelson. Nelson, she'll take another three off the mark, rebounded by Schulte. Schulte will bring it back the other direction. She gets it to Dortland. Minneapolis does a great job of getting back on the defensive side, and in the paint and good is Steerlin. We do not have an answer for her, Dale. At 6 foot, she's got good footwork down low, and she handles the ball very well. Ball back to Nelson. Nelson over to Cabana. Cabana, and that's going to be a tie-up. He'll stay with Minneapolis. And Forte will check in for her, and Lang will come out as Cleveland comes in. Nelson will pull the trigger under the basket. Gets up to shoot at the free throw line, up and no good.
On the back.
Yep. Her first personal foul. Fourth team foul. Both teams just with 4 fouls. 3:08 in the first half. 24-17 Lady Lions. Portland with the basketball. She's picked up by Smith. Nice defense by Smith. Gets it back in the corner to Wagner. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Nelson. Nelson back the other direction. Nice job by Kirsty Nelson as she goes all the way down the left-hand side. Pulls it back out. Oh! And we turn her right back over. And they will do the same thing. Back to Minneapolis. And we turn it right back over. Oh, and they turn back over. So it just matches back to back to back as we get turnover, Dale. Interesting one right there.
Everybody's a little bit too big of a hurry.
Shoot back to Nelson. Smith. Now to Nelson. Nelson here on the left-hand side. Back to Peyton Smith. Peyton. Back it goes to Shoop. Shoop in the corner to...
number 2.
No, actually, we had 3 seconds in the lane.
Oh, okay.
Nope, you're right. You're exactly right.
Foul, but it wasn't on number 2.
No, I think it was on Cleveland.
I thought he was pointing to number 2 from Russell.
Dortland in the corner goes to Wagner. Wagner looks down low. Wow. That's a tough shot for Steerlin in the paint underneath the basket, and she puts it in for her 10th point of the night. She's tied with all scorers with Nelson. Nelson with the basketball on the left-hand side. Back to Cleveland. Goes down low. Almost stolen away.
Foul there on the Lady Bronx.
Number 15, and that's Wagner.
Foul committed by Riley Wagner.
They have scored 7 straight points on us here.
As Nelson will pull the trigger to get it in. Gets it to Lang. Lang with the 3. And rebounded by, great job by Peyton Smith as she gets the rebound and the putback. Her first points of the night. Back out to goes. Top of the key to Dortland. Dortland. That's 5. Oh, wow. Three shot is no good, but rebounded down in the paint. Nobody on her. Wide open was Peeler. That was an easy pickings for Peeler right there. 26-21. Broncos within 5. We had a 10-point lead not too long ago. Back it goes to Shoot. Shoot back to Smith. Smith back to Shoot. Shoot. We'll set this up with 109. Back it goes as they were working around. Oh, another turnover by the Lady Lions. Great job by Broncos to work into that passing lane. Now we're going to have to tighten it up on the defensive side here, Dale. 54 seconds. They get it down low to Steerlin. Back it goes. Schulte for 3. No good. And rebounded by, and that should be Minneapolis basketball. Yep.
Loose ball out of bounds. 42.8 seconds left in the half.
Watch out. See, he hit the Shoot.
With a 5-point lead.
Shoot with the basketball. Lang. Back to Shoot. And she'll drive all the way in the paint. Rebound. And there's going to be wow, great job by Forte, but they call it with a tie-up going up, and that will give the ball back to the Broncos with 25 seconds left, and Coach Schulte is going to take a timeout. So 26-21, 25 seconds left. Broncos lead. Broncos have outscored the Minneapolis Lady Lions 13-10 in this quarter so far. We'll take it. Well, it's 30-second timeout, Dale, so just keep it here.
Yeah, might as well. It's amazing. The Broncos have 12 rebounds, 12 turnovers, according to my unofficial stats. And Minneapolis has 9 rebounds and 9 turnovers.
Yep.
How those numbers mirror each other tonight. The Lions have the 26-21 lead here with about 42 seconds to go, I think it was. The Lady Broncs with the ball after that tie-up on the shot attempt.
So 25 seconds left as Broncos will bring it down to set it up. Dorland with the basketball, picked up by Smith. She goes to the left-hand side. Nice little ball handling there by Dortland. And she pulls it back, gets it to Schulte. Schulte picked up by Smith, Kirstie Nelson. And then she picks up the dribble. Nice job. Oh. And, wow.
That's an effective post player for a sophomore. 26-23 Minneapolis over the defending NCAA League champion Russell Broncos here in this first half. They outscored us in that quarter 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. 15-10, unofficially.
Yep, that's what I had.
Well, we'll take a break here. A word from our sponsors as Scott finalizes his first half stats.
The Citizen State Bank and Trust, with locations in Minneapolis and Belfast, proudly support the Minneapolis High School Lions. Contact either Owen Kindle or Jared Schmidt for all your banking needs, be it home, personal, business, or trust services. We feature online banking, checking and savings accounts, loans, IRAs, and certificates of deposit to help fulfill your hometown banking needs.
Tonight's game brought to you by C&R Plating in Minneapolis. Kevin Klein and the rest of the crew at C&R Plating, proud to support the youth of Minneapolis and all they do.
Hometown Outdoor Power, with locations in Minneapolis, Salina, and McPherson, has been serving Central Kansas for over 20 years and is the largest power equipment dealer in the area. We strive to be the one-stop shop for all your power equipment needs. We provide full sales, service, and parts supply for your home, ag, or commercial contractor power equipment needs. Ask about our winter service program, and go Lions. These live video broadcasts are sponsored in part by Chuck's Collision. When the potentially inevitable occurs and your vehicle needs repair for body or glass, remember Chuck's Collision. They'll bring you satisfaction in your automotive restoration needs. Contact Chuck at 785-392-2774. Chuck's Collision is located at 1556 K106 Highway. At Hometown Hardware, we proudly support our Minneapolis Lions. Think of us for all your home, farm, or business project needs. As your True Value hardware dealer and Just Ask rental dealer, we locally provide the brands and selections that you need for your project. And don't forget the ice cream.
The Minneapolis Junior Senior High School Lionbackers are proud to continue their long-term support of the broadcast of these Lions games. Join us as we support student activities and the teachers of MJSHS. Go Lions! We're with you all the way.
Well, getting a little warm up here from the Lions. The Broncos aren't getting to warm up. Some organization is having a free throw shooting contest from their end. So Minneapolis getting real to take advantage. Scott, I don't see Trenton Meckel suited up, so I assume he's still got thumb problems.
Yeah, still got thumb issues.
Like last year when he broke it in football. So I don't know when we'll see him, but
they think after the first of the year. So
that's about what happened last year.
Yeah. So that'll be a big help. To an already, what I think is going to be a very solid basketball team, but it's just going to be that much stronger. So, scoring-wise for the Russell Broncos, really it's been one player. But run through the stats real quick. Camellia Dortland with 2. Schulte has no points.
Wow.
So, Peeler with 4. Widener with 2. And Reeves with 2. But Anaya Steerlin, the 6-foot sophomore, has 12 points to lead all scorers.
The reason they're behind is because neither Schulte or Dortmund has gone off.
Yeah. Because Dortland's got a nice little shot, and you know Schulte does too. So you can't overlook that at all. So
I should say one of the big reasons they're behind. Yeah. I shouldn't say
I had them down for 14 turnovers. You had them down for 12. So yeah, it's that and
I'll go ahead and put them for 14.
That and you look at the lack of shooting. So Minneapolis, I'm very impressed with the first half. I should say the first 3 quarters of the first half. We kind of let up a little bit the last 3 minutes of the second quarter, Dale. I felt like kind of gave up some easy shots and some layups, and because we had them at a 10-point deficit, 24-14 at one point, and they went on a big run. Outscored us 9-2 in that run, and it may be different than that. So
we have at least 2 3-pointers. Is that correct?
Yep, we do. So actually 3 3-pointers. I'll go through that real quick.
I was thinking it was 3, but I didn't see it on my chart.
Courtney Forte has 2. Peyton Smith has 2. Cameron Cleveland has 6. One of those being a free throw. Zoe Shoup has the 3-pointer. Zoe Shoup has 6 points, and Kirsty Nelson has 10 points. Minneapolis was 5 for 6 from the free throw line in the first half.
That's very good.
Very good, and the Russell Broncos were 1 for 1. So 3 3-pointers. The Broncos have no 3-pointers, Dale.
Yeah. So Nelson has 2, and Cleveland has the 3.
Cleveland has, yep.
They out-rebounded us unofficially 12-9, and they lead us in turnovers 14-9. And, of course, that's all very unofficial. But Minneapolis leads the Lady Broncos at half for the first time in forever, 26-23. Coming up next week, very busy. 3 games apiece for the girls and boys in the Tri-County Classic. We will be at Bennington Tuesday. home to El Saline on Thursday, and will play Halstead in Salina at the Maybe Center?
Kansas Wesleyan campus. Maybe Arena,
that's right.
I think that's what it is.
And then next Saturday is the annual Jeff Giles Memorial Invitational Wrestling Tournament at the MHS Gym. 3 mats going full time the whole day, Scott.
Wow.
I was amazed when I was told that. They got a lot of kids wrestling.
They do. All in the main gym, or they use them both gyms?
Well, I assume it's got to be the main gym. 3 mats going all day long. That's going to be. I'm recruiting help to spot this, because this will be the first time we brought that on the internet presentation. We did league last year, and that was confusing enough just on 2 mats.
That's pretty exciting. What a great tribute to Coach Jeff Giles.
And the guys won last night in Halstead at a duel, pretty substantially, 48-14, something in that range. And they're at Osborne tomorrow for their first tournament of the season. They always go to Osborne for that. Well, with a minute and a half to go here, we'll take another break and hear a word from our sponsors.
The Lions of Minneapolis High School are proudly supported by the Davidson Agency, with offices in Delta, Minneapolis, and Bennington. As a nationwide insurance agent and also an independent agent, they provide hometown service for the insurance needs of their customers for over 30 years. With home, small business, farmers crops, life and health coverage. Call them today at 785-523-4202. With locations in Minneapolis and Bennington, Central Valley Ag provides 24-hour pump services and road conditions by using their CPA fuel club. They also support ag operations by providing safe delivery of lubricant, fuel, and propane. Contact Carl Serene at 785-392-3031 for your ag energy needs. Go MHS Lions. When it's go time, the local Pioneer team is with you from the word go every step of the way. With high-performing Pioneer brand products and local insights, they'll help you choose a lineup of products tailored to your fields and proven just down the road. See Sheldon Gordon at Riverhill Street about the Pioneer brand products. And go Lions! The American Family Insurance Agent Scott Oxman for all your insurance company under one roof. Scott Oxman Agency with locations in Minneapolis and Belleville, proudly supporting the Minneapolis High School Lions.
Sorry we're so close to the Fed Band, folks, but
it'll make it interesting here throughout the breaks when we're playing commercials, Dale. The band shouldn't be playing during game time when we're talking. But yeah, start the second half. The Lady Lions with a 3-point lead, 26-23 as we get ready to go. Lady Broncos had the ball to start the second half. Looks like the starters are the same for both squads as Dortland brings the ball to the left-hand side. Picked up by Nelson. She pulls up her dribble, gets it back in the hands, down low. They immediately go to guess who, and she misses it, and it's going to be off of the Broncos, Minneapolis basketball. So Stearland misses from point blank. So she can miss. Shoop with the basketball. Shoop pulls in the dribble, gets it to Cleveland, back to Smith. Smith back to Nelson, back to Shoop. Shoop will bring it around to set it up. Shoop at the top of the key, rolls around on the right-hand side to Nelson, goes down low, and that's going to be two.
Reach around, no foul. Possession there to Minneapolis. On the tie-up.
On the tie-up stays the Lady Lions. Kirsty Nelson to pull the trigger. They've been trying to get it down to Forte, but just have not had any luck at all. And back to Smith. Smith back to Nelson for three, and it's good. Nice job, Kirsty Nelson, with her third three of the night, as she hits a nice one right there to give her 13 points in the night. They go down low, shot up off the glass, and good by Reeves as she gets a shot in the paint. 29-25, Minneapolis with the lead. Smith with the basketball. Back to Cleveland. Cleveland back to Nelson. Nelson, it goes down low, and we turn the ball over. It was a good thought. We tried to go down to Cleveland, but just couldn't get it to her. And we'll turn it over back to the Broncos. Broncos with the basketball. Dortland will drive, pulls it back down, gets it back in the hands of Peeler. Peeler looks at Schulte, gets it to Schulte here on the left-hand side. Schulte picked up by Nelson. Kirstie Nelson's done a really nice job on her tonight, but they get into Peeler, and Peeler gets her second points of the night, and Minneapolis is going to call a timeout and talk about that. So Peeler gets her, Reeves gets her fourth point of the second half, sixth point of the night, and Minneapolis calls a quick timeout.
We'll take a break here and hear who some of our community sponsors are for these live video broadcasts.
American Family Insurance Agent Scott Osherman, for all your
Sorry, Scott.
design with Sherry Bertrand. Klein Oil Company of Delphos, Jude Klein. The Delphos Cooperative Association, Steve Persly, manager. The Crooked Nail Studio with Alexis Kern. Minneapolis Muffler and Pipe with John Blake. Harris Crop Insurance with Greg Harris. Autotech with Dave Sweat and Gary Keating.
Minneapolis, the inbounds here. They're picking up full court press. They get it in to Nelson. Nelson gets it up to shoot. They break it nicely. And, wow. She's going to be out of bounds. Great block by, wow. That was a nice block, Dale.
Zoe got the rebound, but stepped out of bounds as she started to go forward.
And Peeler down low, and it's going to be picked up by Cleveland, but they're going to call jump ball. So as they get ready to inbounds here, and they will drive it in, and that's going to be off the basket. Minneapolis
off the side of the backboard.
And Shoup will bring it down and set it up. Shoup back to Cleveland. Cleveland back to Smith. Smith back to top to Nelson. Nelson will set it up. Gets cross court to Cleveland. Cleveland takes the quick shot up and in and out. And great job by Zoe Shoup. He gets it back to Nelson. Nelson gets it down to Forte in the paint. Can't get it. But rebounded by Smith. She can't get it. And up and back the other direction goes Peeler. Oh, nearly a turnover at the top of the key. And that was a little bit of a hop up there, and that is. Thank you very much. They missed one right there, but they caught that one. Now, that's just their first turnover this half, isn't it?
Yep. Mm-hmm. We have two. They have one.
Shoup will bring it down to set it up. 5:30, 29-27. Minneapolis with the 2-point lead, and another turnover. Luckily, it'll stay with Minneapolis.
That tie-up, they saw what we were going to do. Forte was at the top, waiting to get a cutter to hand the ball off to, so the defender just reached around and said, I'll take that, thank you.
Nelson to pull the trigger. Gets it in. Back to Shoup. Shoup back to Smith. Smith in the corner to Nelson for three. It's good. Wow. Kirstie Nelson with another three. Her fourth one of the night, Dale. Nice job.
Another one ties the record.
5:11 here to go in the third quarter. Dortland with the basketball. She looks down low to Peeler, goes to Schulte instead, and then they go down to Peeler in the paint, and she's got it. I'll tell you, she had a quiet first half, Reeves, but she's got 8 points, 6 of those in the second half. Ball goes back to Cleveland. Cleveland with the basketball. Back to Nelson. Nelson in the corner. Oh, take that. Yes, indeed. It's no good. And it's rebounded by the Russell Broncos. She had a nice look in Nelson. Dortland short. Oh. And rebounded. Dorland will take another one. And can't get it. And that's going to be a foul on Cleveland, I believe.
Broncos 2 rebounds in that possession there.
Cleveland's going to pick up her 3rd personal foul. And guess who's at the line? She's been everything for them in the second half. That is her 7th point of the second half, and that is Rylan Reeves. She's a sophomore. Takes a second shot, and it's good as well. So, wow, Dale.
They got within 1. That's close as it's been since the start of the game.
Ball goes back in the hands of Nelson, back to Lang. Lang with the basketball. Back it goes over to Smith, back to Shoop, and that's going to be a turnover.
Shuffle defeat before putting the ball on the court. Broncos a chance to take the lead here. Tide or take the lead.
And Kirsty Nelson, Kirsty almost had a steal right there. He'll stay with the Broncos. Broncos with the basketball. Peeler back, it goes into the hands of Schulte. Schulte, I just cannot believe she has not scored yet tonight. Peeler drives in, and it's going to be stolen away by Lang. And there's a reach in, no call, but nice job as Minneapolis will come back the other direction into the hands of Shoop. Shoop with the basketball. Back it goes to Lang. Lang over to Smith. Smith will drive the right-hand side. She'll bring it back. Goes to Lang. And no, she cannot front that like that. You've got to. And we turn it over. Talk about
easy pickings there.
When you front that basketball like that, you just got to watch that. So that's just something you learn.
Yep.
The ladies have done a great job tonight, Dale. I've been very impressed. Dortland drives all the way in, and she's going to pick up. Lang's going to probably pick up number 3 right there. No, excuse me. Peyton Smith picks up her first personal.
Foul on the shot, apparently.
And Dortland misses the first one.
So they could tie it here with that miss.
And she makes that one. So we got a tie ball game at 32 here at the 3:14 mark. Shoop with the basketball. Gets it back, and it goes to Kirsty Nelson, and she steps out of bounds. Kirsty very fortunate on that one. She throws it back in off the hands of Dortland, or we would have had another turnover right there. So, nice job. And checking back in for Minneapolis is Cleveland. Nelson inbounds. Gets it Shoop. Shoop on here. And she gets it back to Cleveland. Cleveland. Oh. And we turn the ball over. And guess Reeves. Wow. Reeves has had a great second half, and we call another timeout as the Lady Broncos take the first lead of the night, 34-32, thanks to the sophomore Rylan Reeves, as she's had 10 points here in the second half. That is 10 of their 11 points, Dale.
Yep, they've outscored us 11-6. Take this lead. Here's some more about who our community sponsors are of these live broadcasts.
Hooters Mexican Restaurant, Cisco's Gallardo, Sunflower Realty, Monty Nelson, Union Body Shop, John Wright, Profab Metal Fabrication, Bill Little, No Place Like Home Flip Shop, Fairly Austin, Sideward, Terry LaGrange Supply, Scott Mortimer, Farm Ohio Bureau of Financial Services with Matt Pickle. School of Grain Company, Rick Waltman, manager.
All right, welcome back here.
34-32, Lady Broncos have their first lead of the night at the 2:43 mark in the third quarter, as they, thanks to basically 10, they've got scores 11-6, but 10 of those coming from Rylan Reeves. If it hadn't been for Kirsty Nelson's 2 threes, Dale,
we have a big zero.
We would have zero. Yeah. Minneapolis to the basketball. Nelson drive in. She'll take the shot in the lane, off the mark, rebounded by Peeler. Peeler will bring it back the other direction. Peeler picked up tight, back to Schulte. Schulte picked up by Nelson. One of the things that's probably helped, Kirsty Nelson's done a great job on the defensive on Schulte. That's probably one of the things that you've seen that's probably helped. They go cross court to Reeves in the paint, up, no good, and rebounded by Schulte. And nice job there, Schulte in the paint. There's a walk. Oh my gosh! But Schulte gets the bucket with the third step. In the hands of Shoup. It goes back to the other direction, 36-32. Boy, do I sound like a homer. Back it goes to Smith. Smith revolve, drives to the right-hand side, gets it over the corner to Shoup. Shoup backs it away, gets it back to Smith. Smith back to Nelson. Kirsty Nelson with the basketball. Back to Shoup. Minute 35 left to go here in the third quarter. The Lady Broncos up by 4. Nelson back to Smith. Smith gets it back to Nelson. Nelson back to Shoup. Shoup on the right-hand side. She'll drive in the paint, no good. And it'll be Lady Broncos basketball.
A runner that didn't draw iron or net goes out of bounds to the Broncos.
And the Lady Broncos call a 30-second timeout. 36-32, 113 left to go here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break.
See American Family Insurance Agent Scott Osherman for all your insurance coverage under one roof. The Scott Osherman Agency, with locations in Minneapolis and Belleville, proudly supporting the Minneapolis High School Lions. The Citizen State Bank and Trust, with locations in Minneapolis and Belfast, proudly support the Minneapolis High School Lions. Contact either Owen Kendall or Jared Schmidt for all your banking needs, be it home, personal, business, or trust services. We feature online banking, checking and savings accounts, loans, IRAs, and certificates of deposit to help fulfill your hometown banking needs.
Well, I just got a text from Chris Veneri that said that Rylan Reeves' dad was a great player in high school. So thanks to Chris Veneri for that, a little bit of information right there. Lady Broncos with the basketball in the paint, stolen away by Forte. Forte with the steal. Back it goes to Shoup.
So he's been teaching her a thing or two, huh?
Apparently so. Back to Nelson in the sweet spot. It's up and it's... Oh! I thought that was going in. Not quite. That's where she's hit some of them tonight, but it was off the mark right there. Back it goes to Dortland for 3. Off the mark in. Fortunately, it'll be Minneapolis basketball after it goes out of bounds. 33 seconds left here in the third quarter. Lady Lions need to get a basket right here, as Shoup will bring it down to set it up. Shoup goes to Forte. Forte spin. Back it goes to Nelson, back to Cleveland. And it'll be tipped out of bounds off of Russell. It'll stay with Minneapolis underneath their own basket.
18 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Forte had a nice look right there. She couldn't see it. She had her back turned to it, but ball goes in the corner to to Nelson, back to Shoup. Shoup with the ball, 10 seconds left. They try to set this one back up. And she'll drive it back in. It's to Smith. Off the mark. No good, and that's going to end the quarter. So Well, okay, so Chris Vanieri corrects me in a text. Chris, I know you're listening, and I'm listening too, buddy. It was her mother that was a great player. So I'm going to have to read back through his text and see, and he did say mom. So, Mr. Chris Vanieri, I apologize for my mistake.
Thank you. That wasn't fine print in an insurance document, huh?
32-36 at the end of the third quarter. Lady Broncos with the lead. We'll be right back.
The outscore is 13-6 in that quarter.
Huntington State Bank wants to be your hometown bank. With locations in Minneapolis, Bennington, and Salina, they strive to provide hometown relationship banking. We provide both consumer and commercial banking service along with trust and wealth management. Contact us today for all your financial service needs. Go Lions, we're with you all the way. Hometown Outdoor Power with locations in Minneapolis, Salina, and Wisconsin has been serving Central Kansas for over 20 years and is the largest power equipment dealer in the area. We strive to be the one-stop shop for all your power equipment needs. We provide full sales, service, and parts supply for your home, ag, or commercial contractor power equipment needs. Ask about our winter service program and go Lions.
Well, the Lady Lions need to get the momentum back.
Well, part of the thing right here, Dale, Lady Broncos did a much better job of not turning the ball over in the third quarter.
They only had three turnovers compared to our 5 in that quarter. That's a big part of it.
Smith with the basketball gets back over here to Cleveland. Cleveland goes to Forte. Forte will drive the right back to Shoop. Shoop at the top. They working around the top of the perimeter. Ball goes to Smith. Smith in the corner, back out, gets it to Forte. Forte back to Cleveland, back to Shoop. Shoop will bring this over to set this up. Back it goes to Forte. Forte on the right, back to the top as they swing the ball over to the left. Minneapolis just working the ball around the top, trailing by 4 right here. Just looking for a shot to maybe a penetration in the lane or something. Shoop goes back over here to the right-hand side to Smith. Smith back to Nelson. Nice drive there. Nelson back to Cleveland. Cleveland takes a shot and no good. And a rebound in the paint. There we go. Kirstie Nelson will go to the line.
Nelson with the rebound. Foul on the putback.
Foul is on, I believe, Schulte. Yep, Schulte her first.
First team foul on the Broncos.
Kirstie's first free throw is no good. Second shot is up, and it front rims as well.
We get the rebound.
And
it out of bounds.
Lady Broncos, Minneapolis will pick up a full court press right here. As they try to get in, they do get in to Dortland, and gets it back to Schulte. Schulte
3-on-2.
And Reeves with another point. 14th point of the night for Reeves. Did I say that her mother was a good basketball player?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Shoot with the basketball. Back to Nelson. Nelson gets it back over to Smith for 3. No good. Rebounded by Nelson. With the putback is good. Kirsten with a nice rebound and putback. Her 18th point of the night. She's had the only points for the Minneapolis Lions in the second half. And a rebound by Cleveland. Cleveland
knocked out of bounds. Minneapolis retains possession.
Schulte will come out for the Broncos. And sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick here.
Cleveland.
Okay.
To Smith.
Back in the corner goes to Shoop. Shoop will set this one up, goes to the left-hand side, and it's no good. Took that out of bounds. It'll go no. They're going to overcall it here.
Son is going to say to Dad, I agree with you out of the officials.
Is that a father-son?
Yes, that's father-son.
Okay. So,
out of Salina.
So it'll stay in Minneapolis.
We turn it over.
And it's going to be a foul on Shoup as Reeves gets the fast break and should go to the line. We have held Stearland to no points in the second half, but Reeves...
they haven't needed Stearland.
Yeah, they haven't. And the free throw is no good.
How many points did Reeves have in the first half?
She only had 2 in the first half. They've got her listed at 5'6", but she looks bigger than that. So,
off of
over the back. Yeah, you're right. Russell was over the back.
Off of number 2. The Lions trailing by 4 here with 5:43 to go. Not out of this by any means.
We get into Forte, back to Nelson, and the turnover. And that's going to be a travel. Yep, good call. Great job by the backside official coming in and saw that coming. Nice job by the officiating crew on that one, Dale. Well, you don't hear me say that very often, do you? So, Shoup with the basketball. Back it goes to Cleveland, back to Nelson. Nelson looks down low. She'll drive in, pulls it back out. Dortmund with the tight defense on her. And Smith will drive it in. Back to Nelson. She'll take the shot. Up and good. Nice job by Kirsty Nelson. Her 20th point of the night. As she leads all scorers. Back down low it goes. Dortmund for 3. Now. And she finally hits one. Big 3 right there for the Lady Broncos as they extend their lead 41-36. Back it goes to Cleveland. Cleveland back to Nelson. Nelson will drive it in. Back to Cleveland. Cleveland on the outside as they were working around. Back, they work the ball around. Shoup with the basketball on the left-hand side. And Minneapolis going to call timeout. 4:15 left to 4:15 left to go here in the ball game. Minneapolis leading Lions trail by a score of 41-36. We'll take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're listening to CityLink TV. Is that right, Dave?
CityLinkTV.com.
41-36. Lady Broncos.
For over 100 years, Robertson Monuments has created everlasting memories for families to share the lives of their loved ones with future generations. Supporting the Lions all the way, Robertson Monuments.
At Hometown Hardware, we proudly support our Minneapolis Lions. Think of us for all your home, farm, or business project needs. As your True Value hardware dealer and Just Ask rental dealer, we locally provide the brands and selections that you need for your project. And don't forget the ice cream. When it's go time, your local Pioneer team is with you from the word go every step of the way with high-performing Pioneer brand products and local.
We'll be back with that.
Nelson inbounds, gets it to Cleveland for 3. It's good. Nice job by Cleveland as she gets her second three-pointer of the night, and great timing on that one to bring us within 2. After the timeout.
That.
Good hands by Nelson. It stays with the Lady Broncos as Peter will drive it in, and she kicks it back out to Dortmund. Dortmund back. It goes to Wagner. She's off the mark, and it's rebounded. No good. And saved. Oh! Kept in the hands of the Lady Broncos, Dale. That was a missed opportunity right there. Wagner with the basketball. And she goes in the paint, up, and it's good. 43-39, 3:29 left to go. Smith with the basketball. Back it goes to Cleveland. Cleveland back to Nelson. Nelson to Forte. Forte with the basketball. Drives it in. Goes to shoot for three. Well off the mark. Rebounded by Reeves. Reeves will bring it down. And that's going to be Minneapolis basketball. Great job by Shoup as she tips it off the hands of Wagner. Back to Minneapolis. Only their 5th turnover in the second half. Ooh, we missed one there. Got lucky on that one. Nelson for three. Oh, off the mark. Rebounded by Reeves. Reeves back there goes into the hands of Dortmund. Dortmund will set it up. 2:43 left to go in this ball game. Lady Broncos with a 4-point lead. Back it goes into the hands of Peeler. Peeler, well, working around. They look down low, have nothing. And then they go into Peeler. Peeler pulls it back to the top of the key. And Smith falls down, gets it back to Wagner. Shot is no good. And that's going to be Minneapolis basketball. Dale, the Reeves girl is just playing.
She's not only a good offensive player, she can rebound.
She can
play defense. Mom's taught her well.
2:11, Minneapolis needs a bucket right here, Dale. 43-39, Shoup will set it up. Gets it back to Cleveland, back to Smith. Smith back to Cleveland. Cleveland here on the top gets it back to Nelson. Nelson in the corner to Shoup. Shoup will drive it in. Nice job with the left hand. Up and good. Great job to see that with her left hand. And she takes it all the way in. Nice job. Within 2, 43-41. Dortmund being chased down by Smith. She goes cross court back to Peeler. Peeler with the basketball. And she's going to...
Timeout?
Oh, timeout. Okay. I was going to say, did they miss something there? So, no. Full timeout is going to be called by the Lady Broncos. 1:35 left to go in this ball game. Minneapolis trails by 2, 43-41. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with your final minute and 35.
Court Insights. They'll help you choose a lineup of products tailored to your fields and proven just down the road. See Sheldon Doherty at River Hill C about those Pioneer brand products. And go Lions. Pat and Lynette Donovan at Ag by Air have been supporting ag operations in the Minneapolis and Delphos area for over 20 years with prompt, up-to-date, and competitive aerial application service. Ag by Air is located at 974 Highway K106, south of Minneapolis, or can be reached at 785-392-3300 for questions on scouting your field, clinical recommendations, and to look your work. Ag by Air, a proud sponsor of the Minneapolis High School Lions.
Welcome back for the final 1:35 of the fourth quarter.
Lady Broncos will have the ball at their bench to inbound this with 1:35 left to go. Wagner inbounds. On the floor for the Lions is Nelson, Smith, Shoup, Forte, and Cleveland. Ball goes back to top as they work it around. Peeler with the basketball. There you go. And they will come up on top of tight on the defensive side. Where's the 5? And they hand it off to Dortmund. Dortmund, as they will work around. They've got a lot of fouls. We've got way too many fouls to try to give here. Ball goes into the hands of Wagner. And there's a foul right there. And Nelson will pick up her first personal. But that's only her 4th one, Dale. So we'll get 3 more fouls to go to get them in the bonus.
We need a steal.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Schulte to pull the trigger. And they get it into Stearman, back into Schulte. Schulte picked up by Nelson. And that was close. Shoup with a nice defense right there. He gets back. Oh, another close one. Great hands by the Lady Lions, really fighting hard on the defensive side, Dale. 49 seconds left. And we just can't quite come up with it, but great hands, great defense. 41-43, Minneapolis trailing by 2. 48 seconds left. Dorland with the basketball. Picked up by Smith. And she's a good ball handler. You're going to have to get on her to get her a foul. Back in the hands of Dorland. Yeah, now. And they get it to Dorland. Dorland, get her trapped up there. Get her trapped up there. Yeah.
Smith with a reach-in foul. 27 seconds.
Yep. 27 seconds left. Second foul on Smith.
Fouling is our strategy here. We're going to have to bang, bang, bang foul right now.
Two quick fouls.
We can't allow them to run any more time off.
Schulte, the inbounds. Schulte to pull the trigger and get it to Dortmund. And okay, you got to get a foul right here. Nelson almost had a tie-up right there, Dale. She did a great job. She had a hand on the ball, but she also had a hand on the arm. They get her with the arm. That's the 16th foul. 21 seconds left. Second personal. Next foul's in. Now this is where I'm not sure. I would not. Oh. Yes. Yep. Oh! I thought we nearly had a turnover right there.
Courtney Forte picked that off.
17 seconds left. 16 fouls. Minneapolis is going to have to, and they're going to call timeout. Lady Broncos will call a 30-second timeout. 43-41, 17.8 seconds left in the close one here in Russell, as Minneapolis is within 2 in a tight ball game. Almost had a steal right there on the baseline, right there on the sideline. Would have been great.
All right, let's hear another word from our sponsor.
Central Valley Ag provides 24-hour pump services by using their NCAA fuel. They also support ag operations by providing local lubricants, fuel, and propane. Contact Carl Shane at 785-392-3031 for your ag energy needs. Go, MHS Lions. The Lions of Minneapolis High School are proudly supported by the Age Collision, with offices in Delphus, Minneapolis, and Bennington. As a nationwide insurance agent and also an independent agent, they have provided hometown service for the insurance needs of their customers for over 30 years. For home, small business, farm and crop, life and health coverage.
Here we go. 17.8 seconds.
Schulte to pull the trigger, and she's got a tight one there. She finally gets it in, and they get it down to Dortland. They're going to have to get a foul right here. And they finally get a foul. Dortland will go to the line where she is 1 for 2, and she'll go to the line. 43-41, 13 seconds left. Dortland at the line
with a 1-and-1.
And it's good.
Required just to make a three-pointer to tie.
Yeah. 44-41. Minneapolis going to call timeout. So, Lane Lions call timeout. 13 seconds, they call a full timeout. Down by 3. Dorland will have one more when we come back. You're listening to CityLinkTV.com.
Minneapolis. We'll be right back.
Calling today at 785-523-4202. These live video broadcasts are sponsored in part by Chuck's Collision. When the potentially inevitable occurs and your vehicle needs repair for body or glass, remember Chuck's Collision. They'll bring you satisfaction in your automotive restoration needs. Contact Chuck at 785-392-2774. Chuck's Collision is located at 1556 K106 Highway.
Tonight's game brought to you by C&R Plating in Minneapolis. Kevin Klein and the rest of the crew at C&R Plating, proud to support the youth of Minneapolis and all they do.
The Messenger Clothing Company, with locations in Minneapolis and Salina, can design custom clothing for your team, business, group, or event with screen printing and embroidery. We feature online design and ordering for your convenience. Contact us at 785-823-7752 or by email at sales@messengerclothingcompany.com for all your custom clothing printing needs today. Go Minneapolis Lions.
Welcome back as the Lady Lions trail by 3, 13 seconds left. Dortland has a chance to put them up by 4 here. With the second half, the 1-on-1 shot is up, and it's front rim short, rebounded by Nelson. Nelson, no!
Lost that there, didn't we?
And we come back. 13 seconds. Cleveland will take the 3 off the mark, and it's rebounded by Schulte. And it's out of bounds. And that's the ball game. Wow. Tough one right there, Dale, as we had a look right there and just couldn't get it to go. 44-41 is your final as the Lady Lions get their first loss of the season, first game. But a well-played game, Dale. I really didn't know what to expect. They surprised me, honestly.
They did me too. Our best players, 2 of our best players from last year were gone as seniors. I didn't know how well everyone else would step up this year, and they stepped up real well, especially for the first 2/3 of the first half. And we kind of held our own there in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the second quarter and all of the third spelled our doom.
Well, we're getting grounded out here by the band, but yeah, you're right, Dale. Nice. Just a nice effort by the Lady Lions tonight. Had the lead at the end of the first quarter, had the lead at the half, and then the Broncos take control, and they finish.
We outscored them in the first quarter 16-8. They outscored us in the second quarter 15-10, and took thorough command in the third stanza 13-6. And we squeaked by them a little bit in the fourth quarter 9-8 for the 3-point loss. We'll get some more stats here shortly.
The Minneapolis Junior Senior High School Lionbackers are proud to continue their long-term support of the broadcast of these Lions games. Join us as we support student activities and the teachers of NJSHS. Go Lions! We're with you all the way.
All right, welcome back for our stats. Go ahead, Scott.
Run through some stats real quick for both squads. For the Lady Broncos, Renee Schulte, I really thought we would see a lot more point production out of her. She only had 2. Christy Nelson did a great job on the defense side on her tonight. Riley Wagner had 4 points, and Megan Peeler had 5 points. Camille Dortland had 7, and Amelia Steerlin had 12, all in the first half. But the big story in the second half was Rylan Reeves, and she had 12 in the second half as well, which ended up with 14 for the night, as they ended up with 2 girls in double figures, and ended up 4 for 8 in the second half free throw shooting, 5 for 9 for the ball game. For the Lady Lions, scoring-wise, Courtney Forte had 2. She had a lot of work to do down low with Steerlin. They really prevented Courtney from touching that ball much. Peyton Smith had 2 points. Zoe Shoup was close to double figures with 8. Cameron Cleveland, same way, close to double with 9. And Kirsty Nelson led the way with 20 points. And she had 4 3-pointers tonight. Cleveland had 2. Minneapolis was 0 for 2 from the free throw line. The second half ended up 5 for 8 for the ball game. It's interesting. Russell Lady Broncos only had 1 3-pointer, and that was in the second half by Camille Dortland.
They took care of what they needed to do underneath the basket.
Yeah.
Turnover-wise, unofficially, Broncos had 21, Minneapolis 16, and they out-rebounded us 25-17. I'm going to go with play of the game, sponsored by the Davidson Agency. At the end of the first quarter, Kirstie Nelson sunk a beautiful three-pointer here from the left-hand corner to establish a 8-point lead for the Lady Lions to knock off what was a beautiful first quarter play for the Lions. And the player of the game, sponsored by the Messenger Clothing Company, is going to go to Kirstie Nelson. 20 points, 4 three-pointers. That's 1 three-pointer underneath the school record of 5 in the game. So Kirstie starting off with a good set of three-point knockdowns. We hope she can keep that up throughout the season. Move her up on the scoring chart.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring this game to an end. We'll get ready for the boys here in a few minutes. Thanks for listening. Neil Leach and
Scott Osherman
signing off. We'll talk to you later, guys.
We're about 10 minutes away from the boys game for those listening online. Thank you.